Basketball fans, welcome back. So the Nderitu Thunder are doing us proud. Let's round of applause for them. This Thunder squad, the way it was constructed, the new signings are paying off. Back-to-back 100-point games, something that we will not think that it will happen, but it has happened. I know right now it's all about just go ahead and win the games. But if you look at the point differential that the Thunder have right now, it's superior and second to none. Right now, they are the best team in the East Division. So this is not saying the Urunani and City Oilers' performances were not good. But if you look at how the Thunder just meticulously took apart those two teams. MBB, no shot. Kriol Star, they looked like they're a team that could be able to do it, but man, this team just went downhill and the Thunder were just doing everything. And I just went ahead and watched that game yesterday again. I mean, I caught the live yesterday in the evening, and I just rewatched that whole game today morning just to have like a fresh perspective and just see a couple of things that maybe I would have missed in the previous one. Even in the previous one, the game against MBB, rewatched the whole thing. Our heroes, Ken Washira, man, fourth quarter game. Fourth quarter, Ken Washira is a beast. Garang Ding is a certified bucket. Haruna is good. We've got Aterma Jock, who's just doing his thing. Derek Ogechi is good. Before even get into that, man, these guys are just great. And that MBB game, 102-59 was the final score. The Nderitu Thunder winning that game. I must say, it was a very good performance. I can't even say that, there was any flaw like that. But even with these two dominant performances, there were still a couple of shacked in a full moments. But I'm not going to get into that because, the huge point differential was able to heal every, flaw that was there. But the Thunder, they are ready. And defending home court is the first priority, especially when you're hosting a game of this magnitude. And in the first game, I was closely monitoring the performance of Abdullahi Haruna and Atar Majok. And even yesterday when I was talking in a group chat of Hoops Nation, if you're not a member of that group, make sure to look for a link to join. I had a couple of things in my mind and I was just sharing. And I just said, I saw that Coach Liz Mills is in town, and I've seen that she's closely monitoring the Nderitu Thunder and how they're doing things. I don't know if she's gonna go into that coaching stuff, but Brad Aves is just doing a very, very commendable job. And given this whole situation with the Thunder the way they are playing, the coaching staff for the Nderitu Thunder needs all the help they can get. So anyone who has experience, man, it's time for us to ride and get behind this team because that BAL appearance is on the horizon and it's closer than we think. Because with these two dominant performances, they're able to go ahead and win and make it to the finals. The only objective right now is to make it to the finals. They can be able to, make history and be able to pass the Elite 16 and make it to where the previous teams, KPA and the Ulinzi Warriors, failed. And right now, Kenya, the Nderitu Thunder, are in the best position to grab a ticket there. And the only two teams that are a threat right now, they are the City Oilers and the Urunani. I mentioned Urunani because Urunani, they're a team that is still dominant. And there's a high likelihood that one of those two teams will make the finals and the Thunder are going to clash with them. So I'm waiting on that one. I'm not holding my breath like that, but all in all, making the finals is the objective. Regardless of whether it's going to be a win or a loss in the finals, the Thunder making BAL is a priority. So in the first game, tip-off was Thursday, 28th November at the Nyayo Stadium. I saw the Nyayo Stadium written like that, but it's the Nyayo Indoor Arena. So anyway, it is what it is. So the Nderitu Thunder, that was the Thunder versus MBB was the final game. Of course, the host team has to anchor. They have to have their last game of the day. And that game happened 8 p.m. So MBB versus Nderitu Thunder, 102-59 was the final score. And we had our guys going out there and just doing some spectacular things. And Albert Todero, in 20 minutes, the man had 15 points, 66% field goal shooting, and he had 5 boards in there. So he was quite efficient, and he didn't attempt too many shots, but he was able to go even to the line and score at least 75% on the line. Then you had Tyler Ongwae, our defensive beast. The man really, really struggled, especially his 4 turnovers and 2 personal fouls. But his 5 rebounds, 3 assists, and 10 points made the difference slightly. But Abdullahi Haruna was the guy that I was monitoring because he started. Because the starters that Brad Ibbs went to in this game were Garang Ding, UC, Atar Majok, Abdullahi Haruna, and Tyler Ongwae. Was it the best decision? Yes, at the time, because the Thunder needed to put their new signings forward and they had to show what they can do first. But the unsung heroes went ahead and did their thing, especially Garang Ding. Garang Ding, for these 2 games that the Thunder have played, the man was spectacular. There's hands down, there's no doubt this guy can even finish the MVP award because of how consistent he was. In 28 minutes, approximately 29 minutes, 16 points, 6 of 8 shooting, that's 75%. And you went to the free throw line once. So pure hooper. And from downtown, it was 3 or 4. So he was a very reliable option from downtown. And he was very good. 3 rebounds, 2 assists. He didn't have like very huge outbursts where he was scoring a lot, but he was very efficient when he came to just making sure to get the ball where he needed to be on the court. That's what he does. You see with the point guard in the point guard position, even with his 10 points in 22 minutes played, he has 7 assists. So the man was dishing the rock pretty well, doing what a point guard needs to do, and he was very good at it. So Atar Majok in this game, it was quite concerning in the game against MBB because I felt like Atar Majok missed a few things. He didn't have like that huge spark the way we've seen him play in the USM team, but still, Atar Majok is one of the most reliable pieces that the Thunder have, especially at the 5 spot, because his dominance, his overall dominance in there, he is the difference. Because if you want a rim protector, if you want a guy who can force his way and work the post, Atar Majok is the Thunder's best option at this point. I know we've got Okal Karanga, but he had a very quiet game, and he was just doing other things. He didn't score as much in this game against MBB, but when it came to the rebounds, he was good. And also the blocks, because another underrated thing I've seen with Okal Karanga, he can't work the post that much, especially scoring. But when it comes to the other things he does very well, especially grabbing rebounds and blocks. That is one thing that really, really helps. And I feel like Atar Majok being there and him being there, he is able to at least fill in that role at the front court, because the backcourt for the Nderitu Thunder, there's so much depth there to the point where even the team, they can even get lost at even figuring out a way to balance out the court, because you can have too many guys in the backcourt who are loaded, but the front court, you're not getting any rebounds. But Okal Karanga, he did his job pretty well. I have to give credit to him, because I don't think those 8 rebounds should be taken lightly, because this is a guy that is an instant spark. And in the game against Kriol Star, he was able to do some very, very good things. And Eugene Adera, I almost forgot, because Eugene Adera, great guy. 5 rebounds, 2 assists, 8 points. He didn't show up too much in there, but man, he didn't have the best game like that. He only played like 14 minutes, but in that MBB game, it was the first game. They were just trying to have a feel of what is going on. And Derek Ogechi was still not there yet, especially when he came to just finding his rhythm in the first game. But he was able to catch rhythm in the second game, because the Thunder, when it came to overall field goal percentage, they shot 53% from the field. On 2-point field goals is what I was really monitoring, because they shot 70% on 2-point field goals. So having a very good 2-point field goal percentage, especially at the 70% mark, there's no way you're going to lose that game. And from downtown, they really tried. For the first time, we are seeing the Nderitu Thunder have a squad that can be able to balance it out. They can go and shoot from inside, mid-range, and also from downtown, because there are multiple options on either side, and also work the post. So the Thunder even shooting at a 34% clip from downtown, that was actually quite good, and I must give them credit because the Thunder's coaching staff, they had a lot to think about, especially with how balance out they're going to balance out the roster, making sure that everyone is able to find their spots on the court, because that's very important. And especially in these high tempo, high paced games, there's a high likelihood you can even get lost in not knowing what teams and what rotations to run in there. So the Thunder, they did a very good job in the rebounds department. They had 46 total rebounds. In the offensive rebounds, that is one thing that I was really, really monitoring, because offensively, those are second chance points. They're able to grab 13 offensive boards. There was 33 defensive boards. And this was actually the difference, because majority of the teams that I've seen Team Kenya play, whether it's the national team level, the club level, they really, really struggle in rebounds. And there's no size deficit in the Thunder squad. They had 7 steals, 8 total blocks, and this was the difference. And this was the reason as to why they were able to do some spectacular things in there. And I had no doubts. Points from turnovers, Thunder, 27 points. Fast break points, 35. Second chance points, 17. Points in the paint, 50 to 26. So the Thunder, not only were they dominating from inside, but you can even see from the inside the paint, or 50, they grabbed 50 points in there. And points from the bench, their bench mob was good. And I almost forgot. Fourth quarter, Ken Washira. I mean, come on. This dude, in 10 minutes, he got, like I believe this was fourth quarter minutes. The man got 15 points and he was 3 of 6 from downtown. I mean, the man was not missing a shot. It looked like he was scoring every shot. But looking at what he did in that game, he was spectacular. He was good and he fed off the crowd. He finished that game with 15 points. So in this game, we had 5 players scoring 10 points or more. And still, there was still firepower left, because Derek, he had a 0-point game. But that wasn't even a big issue, because the other guys who stepped up when he had an off night. So Derek, he was able to pick up the slack in the next game against Kriol Star. And Aterma Jock, he had 7 points, but his productivity was yet to be seen. He was just growing into the Thunder rotation. And one thing that I even mentioned, even in a group chat, I mentioned, like, in-game chemistry really takes time. And even an experienced coach will come out and tell you that these moments that the Thunder have, they have to find a way to have good in-game chemistry. So with the new additions being added, you see Abdullahi Haruna in there, you have Aterma Jock, you have UC, Derek Ogechi. They have not logged too many minutes together. So it's very important that they just take time and just grow into the game. And this is the first game. That was the first game that happened 2 days ago. And all our doubts were cast away in this game against Kriol Star, because I'm going to go into it in a short while. But I must say, give credit to the Thunder's bench, because there was no way the Thunder are losing at this point, because the level of professionalism I've seen is good. There's very good rotations. The well was spread across the whole team. Look at even the bench mob. The bench mob grabbed, they dominated with 41 points from the bench. This one was very good, and I really, really liked it. Even the guys that are usual suspects, they kind of stepped up. They kind of showed that, they could do it. Okay, Fidel Okoth didn't have a good game there. He only played like 4 minutes, so he was taken out. David Barakat Etiang, he's a new addition. He didn't get a feel of the game like that. They were only given like minutes when the game was ending, where the points were already decided. But Albert Odero, Telo Ongwai, Abdullahi Haruna, Kennedy Washira, UC, Garang Ding, Aterma Jock, those are the guys, man, that's really, really stepped up in this game, in this first game, just to set the tone for the tournament. And this 100-point game, this 100 plus point game, to be specific, 102, it set the tempo of what is to come in the lead up to like the finals for the road to BAL East Division, because there's no weak spot when it comes to the Thunder right now. both on offense and defense. I even mentioned in a group chat. I know I keep mentioning the group chat because that's where I just give my raw ideas in there. I said that the Thunder have a defensive big three. So the defensive big three, we have Ater Majok, Abdullahi Haruna, and Tyler Ongwai. I put Tyler Ongwai in there, and I can do it interchangeably with Okal Kuranga because Okal, he's very good defensively, not that productive on offense, but defense, he can give you that hustle. And that's something that the Thunder really needed. And I can interchange Tyler and Okal. But the defensive big three, even I can even say big four, Ater Majok, Abdullahi Haruna, Tyler Ongwai, and Okal Kuranga can make a very good defensive big four in there. And Abdullahi Haruna is a very, very good player because in this game, he had 18 points on 45% shooting from the field with 5 rebounds, 2 assists. He really struggled with, them 3 turnovers in there, but his position, he had to handle the ball at some point. He had 1 steal. So Abdullahi Haruna is the reigning BAL steals leader. So, and they made if the first team all defense in BAL season 4, the one that closed when he played for the AS Downers team. So Abdullahi Haruna is a very interesting case because this is a man that can average even 25, 26 points and also be a very good defensive option when it comes to guarding the best player because he can do it all. He's a two-way player. He can go both offense and defense. It depends on what the Thunder decide to do with him because when Abdullahi Haruna played for Saleh, when Coach Liz Mills and Abel Son were there on the coaching staff, they utilized him in more of an offensive role. And in multiple occasions, he was able to even average even 30, 33 points, 27 points. So he's a guy that he has no shortage of, offense in his bag. And that's the reason as why the Thunder really trusted him shooting the 3 ball at even attempting 10 shots a game. In this case, in the MBB game, he had 4 made 3-point shots. So that was actually something good. But in the ASALE, he played more of offense. But in the AS Downers team, where he played season 4, he was utilized in more of a defensive role. Although he was still good on offense, but defense is what made him stand out. That's why he averaged 4 steals a game, and he was able to convert because he's a player that has a very good break-even point. So the Thunder need to make a decision. Are we going to utilize him both, or you're going to let other players cover for him a bit so that he can be able to focus on scoring more? So that's a decision that the Thunder need to make. And I know, given their coaching staff and their talent in the game, they are going to go ahead and figure that out. But that MBB game set the tone for what is to come for the Thunder. And this game that I've just come from rewatching it, this was very good because the Thunder decimated Kriol Star. I can even say dismantled, dominated them. And there was no weak spot from the Nairobi City Thunder. So this game, Nairobi City Thunder versus Kriol Star, this game was, I can say it was very one-sided and it was already decided as we started the second quarter. Not even the second half, but second quarter, because this game ended 104-71 and the Thunder really dominated them. So Kriol Star, I felt like this is a team that could have given the Thunder resistance. Even prior to the game, I thought about it. I was like, maybe the Thunder are going to be pushed to the edge a bit, but wait. I almost forgot, the Thunder, they are the best team in Kenya basketball and they are protecting their home court. So there's no way they're going to, drop it. I was expecting Joel Almeida to have a very big game for the Kriol Star, but man, he showed up small with a 10-point game and there was nothing going on for the Kriol Star team. But the Nairobi City Thunder, the guys who were not able to come alive in the previous game against MBB were able to come alive in this game. And Nderitu Gechi, he really struggled in that MBB game. He only had 0 points. But in this game, he had 7 points, 1 of 4 from downtown. And he was 3 of 6 from the field. And he had 7 points in there. But Garang Ding, his 14 points in 19 minutes played, very efficient, 75% shooting. He's on pace on winning that MVP award if they're going to give it. If the Thunder are able to win and make the finals and win it all, he really deserves that MVP award because Garang Ding has been one of the most consistent options for the Narbisi Thunder. I don't think there's somebody who has been able to dominate a game like that. UC just doing UC things in 19 minutes. He had 13 points. He was 3 of 7 shooting from the field. And from the line, UC went to the line 8 times and he made 6 of them. That's 75%. So majority of these points were made from the free throw line, drawing those fouls. And did I even mention Garang Ding? He had 8 total rebounds. So he was actually quite good, and 1 steal to go along with that. Then we had Abdullahi Haruna. So Abdullahi Haruna, he didn't have a very, very dominant game like that, but still, he was a very, very good option in there. He played 22 total minutes, but the game was already decided, so there was no scoring barrages made that were that huge. But the other guys, Alberto Dero, he was good 15, Telongwa is 13. You know, it was an overall, I can say, team effort coming from the Narbisi Thunder. So I am very excited to see the Thunder play like this and just flat out dominate, because even despite the low, the Thunder not even being able to have like a lot of people like shooting like or even scoring like at a high clip, let's say for example somebody dominating with like 30, it was a team effort. It was a team effort, and that's what made the difference, because without having a team mindset, and that is one thing that the Kriol Star really didn't understand. They didn't play much more as a team. Even MBB, when you've talked about them previously, they didn't play more of team basketball like that. They played more of individualistic style, and it led them to, conceding the most points to the Narbisi Thunder. But the Thunder picked up where they left off from the MBB game, and they were able to dominate with a 104-point game, and it was their back-to-back 100 points. The previous game against MBB, they scored 30. They not even 30. They scored 102 points, and in this game 104. So they were able to dominate. They had 55 total rebounds, literally out rebounding this team, this Kriol Star team. I mean, it was bad. It was bad for Kriol Star, but it was good for the Thunder. And points from turnovers, still the Thunder dominated with 18 points from turnovers. So points from turnovers, the Thunder dominated with 18 points. Fast break points, 32. I mean, it was good. Second chance points, 10. Again, points in the paint, 50. 50 points in the paint from the Thunder, and they're able to go ahead and just do their thing. And 50 points from the bench. So in the previous game, they had 41 points from the bench, and this one they had 50. So there is no stopping the Thunder right now. And right now they're just in cloud 9. And everything is just clicking. And I'm just waiting to see what they're going to do against the Bravehearts team, because we've seen the Bravehearts team play, and I mean, they got dominated in the first game, and things are just not looking good for that squad. But anyway, anything can happen in basketball. Bravehearts, they're coming off back-to-back losses, and they're just there to be smacked around by the Thunder, because even in this group, the only team that was a threat was the Kriol Star team, and the Thunder were able to dispatch them in like embarrassing fashion. And in Group A, the Thunder are up. They've 2 games, 2 wins. The percentage for the Thunder was 100, and the point differential for the Thunder is at an all-time high. And I don't think there's any team that can be able to stop them right now. So the Thunder, they top Group A, and even in Group B, Urunani and City Oilers are just rearing to go. No, both Urunani and City Oilers are able to grab wins, 2 wins, 0 losses apiece, and waiting to see what's going to happen with that one. So most likely, one of these 2 teams are going to meet them in the finals, because Group A, I mean, it's the Thunders to dominate, and Bravehearts coming off two back-to-back losses against Kriol Star and MBB. I don't think there's a chance they can be able to pose any resistance, but it is what it is. So I'm just excited to see what the Thunder. I just said, let me just come on here and just tell you as it is, because man, this is it's exciting basketball, and I've looked forward to seeing Kenya just dominate. And the Thunder are just making us proud. And with your help, with the fans' help, with everyone's help, we can be able to rally behind the team. I know there was a couple of things that happened in that Nyayo leaking roof. I'm going to talk about them in a future video. But in this one, I just am just focusing on the Thunder's on-court performances and what they're doing right now, because whatever they're doing, it's working and they're winning, and it has produced a lot of wins for them. So if you guys like the video, make sure to leave your feedback down in the comments what you think about this. I'm going to talk to you guys in the next one. Peace out.
We had a slow start. We kept on battling out. They score, we score. We were able to push the lead out second half and get the win. And I'm happy about that. On to the next. It's good because it means a lot of people scored. A lot of people got to get in rhythm. That's going to help us going forward with the better competition we play. Yo, we're deep. You saw what we could do. From 1 to 11, everybody could contribute. So we're deep, and we're hoping that's going to help us in this tournament. We got to start better. We can't be trading buckets, and we got to run. We got to run from the get-go. That's what we got to do.
That's how you start the tournament. That's how you start a tournament of this stature. And I think that win is a teaching point for what we want to do as the tournament continues. Not at all. We expected it. We are a bit rusty. We played our last game in Tanzania against a different opponent. And now that we get to face a new opponent after a period of time, it was going to be a little bit difficult for us to get our footing right. But we are pros, and as the quarters went on, we started to lock in on defense, and we got the job done. We didn't even expect to get 100. Ken Washira came in with some big shots, 5 for 5. I kind of feel like that is like a confidence booster for us going into the second game tomorrow. We're going to take it a game at a time.
If I'm honest, I kind of think we did, right? I think we knew our guys were ready. I think what surprised me more was not that we scored 102 points. I think what surprised me was a little bit of the slow start. I think they hit some really tough shots, and they kind of kept the momentum kind of it's a little bit of like a seesaw. But I think, with some good defense in the second half, some of those shots didn't start going, and we started converting on the other end. So I can say I think it wasn't totally unexpected. I knew our guys were going to come ready. Well, I think it just means you have a really deep and talented team. We can very comfortably play 11 players in this tournament, and I think that's a benefit to us, right? I think there's honestly, like, some of the best basketball I've seen is just when our guys go against each other, and it's really amazing. And I think you could see the quality, 1 through 11 tonight. Even a guy like Ken Washira didn't play for 3 quarters, came and stole the show in the 4th quarter. He's like a special kid, and I think it's a testimony to how deep we are 1 through 11. So I hope so, but I think so. But in some ways, you still have to treat every game like a different game, right? You can't just assume what's going to happen against this team is going to be an automatic carryover. But I think it's when you can get these games when the energy's up and the vibes are good and everybody's happy, everybody had a chance to contribute. That's really good. That's really good. So I think more of the same.
Last 2 days have been good. We're not trying to get too high. We're not too low. We're just trying to stay, because we still know the job's not done. You know what I'm saying? Anything could happen. We got to keep our foot on the gas. Oh, it's nice playing at home. Honestly, when they said we were hosting it, I could just tell it gave everybody a boost of energy. And we never hosted one of these, so it's just nice to just stay at home, have our fans show us love, and also introduce them to good basketball, because there's other good talented teams playing here. Thank you very much. We appreciate you. On behalf of Thunder, continue supporting us. We're trying to make history, and you guys are a part of it. As much as we're a part of it, you guys are a part of it. Thank you very much.